Dream, 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 dream.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I recently posted a video in response to Andrew Ballina ranking the films in the Halloween series from least favorite to favorite. That seems to be pretty popular right now. A lot of other people have been posting videos doing the same. So I thought I would try to switch it up a little bit and be one of the first to start ranking the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Hopefully everybody else can post some video responses, link it to this one, that way we can reach a wider audience. But yeah, we can definitely have fun with this one, I think, as well. I know a few people had done the Friday the 13th ranking before the Halloween, which I never got a chance to do, but I will do that in the future. But I thought I would do Elm Street just because Sci-Fi Channel was actually playing some of these today. I caught the end of 2. They skipped 3 for whatever reason. They went right to 4. I watched a little bit of 4. I watched most of 5, and then I watched probably the first half of 6, Freddy's Dead. So they're definitely fresh in my mind. I can definitely do this ranking a bit more accurately. But with that being said, I've seen all of these films many, many times anyway, so I'm pretty much stuck in my ranking of them anyway. That really hasn't changed all that much. So again, please feel free to post video responses to this, with your own personal rankings of the Elm Street films. This is just going to be my personal opinion. Again, nobody take it to heart if I, list one of your favorite sequels low on my ranking. It's just my personal opinion, just how I feel about it. Feel free to post your own ranking, and then we can discuss more. So I'm going to get right into it now because my Halloween ranking video ran a little bit long. So my least favorite in the series is Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. I can never really get into this one. This has always been my least favorite. I really don't know what it is about it, but I just do not like it that much. The storyline's okay. It's a decent enough storyline, with Freddy having a kid and all that. It's painfully obvious right away who that kid is, even though they don't specifically say who it is, until halfway through the movie. But with that aside, I guess it was a cool idea. But I don't know. I don't know if it's the characters in this, but I don't like the characters. I really don't care about them. I don't like the way the movie was done. There's just something different about it. There's just a different feel to the movie that I can never get into. And it's definitely my least favorite in the series. Next, and I know a lot of people like this one, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. I'm not really sure what it is about this one either. It's just a matter of, this one doesn't stand out to me all that much. I do like the fact that it introduces Alice. Alice is one of my favorite characters in the franchise, so that's definitely a plus. Again, a cool concept, with her being able to control her dreams, being the Dream Master, which, is utilized later on in Part 5, The Dream Child. So, that's cool as well. But I don't like how they killed off the remaining characters from, 3, Dream Warriors, in the first half hour of this movie. I mean, we watched them in Part 3, and, we got to like those characters, and then right away they're pretty much killed off, and I don't know, I just really didn't like that too much. And again, nothing really stands out in this movie for me, so that's why it's so low on my ranking. Next is A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. Now, I hear mixed reviews about this. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people think it's okay. I actually really enjoyed this. I mean, compared to the rest of the films, it's definitely one of my least favorites, as you can see. There's only 2 films I rank lower than this. But, I definitely think it was well done. The differences that were added into it were okay, in my opinion. The casting was okay. I didn't mind the casting at all. I thought Rooney Mara was pretty cool in it, as Nancy. But there were some cool scenes in here, and a lot of people I remember were deathly afraid of this film, not because it's scary, but because of the fact that Robert Englund would not be playing Freddy. And, everybody was worried about that, but I have to say, that really didn't change all that much for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, Robert Englund is, he is Freddy Krueger, but Jackie Earle Haley definitely did a great job playing Freddy in this, and I definitely have to give him credit. He was definitely a pretty creepy Freddy. He looked great in the makeup. The makeup was definitely a lot different than the Freddy we all are used to seeing, but I think it was definitely well done and different enough. And for a remake, it's definitely not one of the worst in my opinion. Next up, Freddy vs. Jason. Well, don't get me wrong, this was a really fun film. I have seen this a lot. I've watched this many times actually. I just think it's a really cool idea. I think they worked out the idea well. When I first heard they were going to do Freddy vs. Jason, years ago, obviously, I was kind of worried. I just thought it was going to be stupid and cheesy. I mean, I was thinking, how are they going to bring the 2 characters together in one movie? I thought they were just going to find any random excuse to get them to fight. But I think it was actually a really good storyline. You know, to have Freddy using Jason to get to his victims. I thought that was really cool. I like the cast in this one as well. You know, Monica Keena. I mean, I think she's pretty good looking. So, you know, I don't mind seeing her at all. But yeah, definitely worthy enough. You know, compared to the rest of them, again, not one of my favorites, but still a pretty cool movie. Next up, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now this seems to be one of the black sheep in the series. It's just very different. There's a lot of rules that this movie breaks when it comes to the rest of the franchise. You know, just a completely different concept and a different look at, you know, the whole Elm Street saga in this movie. But I just really like the 80s feel to it, and it's the pool party scene that really does it for me in this one. I really love that pool party scene, so yeah, that's why this one's kind of in the middle of my ranking. Next, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Definitely one of the better installments, one of the better sequels. Pretty cool cast in this one, some great death scenes. It's awesome seeing Nancy return and John Saxon in this one as well. So yeah, this tends to be a favorite among fans, so I really do like this one. I don't really need to say too much about it because, as I said, a lot of people seem to really like this one. I was really surprised that Sci-Fi didn't play this one today for some reason. I don't know why they thought to skip Part 3, since it was probably, you know, one of the best out of the movies that they've shown today, so I don't know. Next, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Probably the scariest out of all the Elm Street films next to the original. Of course, Wes Craven, you know, wrote and directed this film as well. Really cool idea behind it, you know, the whole movie within a movie concept, and, you know, Freddy looks really, you know, scary in this one. Freddy definitely looks the scariest in this film. You know, he loses the glove, just has the knife straight in his fingers in this one. Not really unlike 2. I mean, in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, he actually has that for part of the movie as well. But, you know, in this one, it's just really well done. I really like the storyline in this one. I love how, you know, Heather Langenkamp plays herself, how Robert Englund plays himself, Wes Craven plays himself. Really cool storyline. But yeah, definitely the scariest Freddy. Next, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. I've said many times I love this one. A lot of people don't like this one, but I really, really do like it. There's just some great kill scenes in here. Some of the best kill scenes, I think, in the entire series. And I don't know why this movie is so hated, because I think it's very underrated. I think it has such an original storyline. You know, I mean, the whole concept that was developed in The Dream Master of Alice being able to control her dreams really pays off in this one. You know, with that story of you know, since Freddy can't get to Alice through her own dreams, he gets to her through her unborn child. Really cool idea. You know, when she asked the doctor, you know, can unborn babies dream, and you know, she's told that they can. It's just pretty cool. You know, it hits her. That's how Freddy's getting to her, through her unborn child. Just think it's a really cool idea. You also get to see some of the backstory of Freddy and you know, Freddy's mother, Amanda Kruger, and all that. So I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. And this also has Greta's death scene, which is by far one of my favorite kill scenes in any horror film. And finally, of course, the original, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Should I do what I did in my Halloween franchise ranking and say there's not much to say about this one? You know, I could. But yeah, it's a classic. One of the scarier slasher films. I mean, when you really think about it, the fact is, you know, Freddy is so scary in this one because he gets you in your dreams. I mean, that's how it is in all of the films, but, you know, he takes a more comedic route in most of the sequels. Whereas this one, it was a straight horror film, and, you know, the scariest thing about it was you could not go to sleep. I mean, everybody has to sleep. You have to sleep, you have to breathe, you have to eat. And if you cannot sleep, then you cannot do any of those things. You cannot live, and, you know, that's just it. I mean, you know, you're screwed either way, basically. It's a lose-lose situation, so I don't know. It's a really cool idea. Also love the fact that Wes Craven got this idea based on, you know, a story that he read. You know, basically, you know, inspired by a true story in a sense. So I think that's also really cool about it. So that's my ranking, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You know, let me know what you think, of course. You know, feel free to disagree, and of course feel free to agree. But I would also love to see your rankings as well. So if you feel like you want to post some ranking videos, please link them below as a video response, and I'll be sure to check them out. Comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys.